Okay. Well, good evening. First of all, I want to thank the League of Women Voters, the Holden Institute for Public Policy, as well as all the panelists, the Downtown Residents Association, and the other participants here for hosting this. And also thank you for being here, for your interest in this issue, your involvement, your community, and your support of the city and its future. I'm not only going to tell you what my position is, I'm also here to ask you to help us vote yes in April 5th for Proposition E, to retain the earnings tax. You've heard why this is important for the city, but I'm going to reiterate a little bit of that. It's a 1% tax that all people who live in the city or who work in the city of St. Louis and have earned income. If you don't have earned income, if you're living on Social Security or retirement savings or a pension of some sort or disability, you don't pay the earnings tax. So this is a tax for people that work. And about 60% or more of the earnings tax is paid for by people who don't live in the city of St. Louis, but they work here. So we benefit by that as they do as well. They're here coming in to the city of St. Louis working. They're benefited by our police and fire protection, our streets, our traffic lights, our lighting, and all the things that we provide for the people who come into our city and work. So they benefit by it as well. But it also helps support our government in a significant way. About $140 million, which is by far our largest revenue source, comes from the earnings tax. If we didn't have it, it would significantly impact in a negative way our ability to provide public safety and other services, particularly under these tough economic times. And I want to talk about that. This year we were able to close a $46 million budget shortfall. And next year, if everything goes the way we expect it to go, and things stay the same, we're looking at an $8 to $10 million shortfall. If we were to lose the earnings tax in April, it would start phasing out at a rate of 10% a year for 10 years. In the first fiscal year, we've got to have that budget prepared by May 1st of this year, we would lose $7 million because it's halfway through the year. And we'd lose another $14 million in every fiscal year thereafter. That would add to the burden of our tremendous challenges with the budget and the economy that we have. People say, well, why don't you just cut services or do things like that? Well, I can tell you, since I've been in office, we have done a lot to streamline city government. We've eliminated over 650 civilian positions. We've also gone to the voters a number of times and asked them to support some tax increases to help us and to support city government. We're all taking furloughs in city government. All the management employees are taking 2-week furloughs. We're in the second year. Non-paid furloughs. We're in the second year of that. All the rank and file are taking, in their second year, are taking 2-week, 1-week furloughs. And we're looking at taking some more furloughs in the next year. And as all of you know, we're city residents, and soon most, if not all of you are, we're asking we've asked city voters this year for the first time in history to pay for their trash collection. So we've been doing our part in very difficult times to really keep city government going. If this were to fail, it would be a severe blow to the city of St. Louis. Without a replacement, it would be a big, big problem. What would a replacement be, and what would that take? Well, there's a lot of ideas about that, but we certainly can't get rid of the tax before replacement is in place. If somebody says, we don't like the earnings tax, it's not the best way to tax, it puts us at a competitive disadvantage. For all those things, I certainly understand those arguments, but the fact is, without a viable and an acceptable, and I mean acceptable by the voters, plan, we need to keep the earnings tax in place. So I'm here to tell you that I support it fully. We put together, I've raised a fair amount of money in the upper 6 figures for a quality campaign. We're going to be talking with voters directly, door knocking on the phone. You won't see any television commercials, but that'll be a way